Interview Jessica, take 2.
Okay.
And action.
Are we still green on this thing though?
Are we? Yes.
Okay. We're
Yes,
good.
we are.
Action.
Alright, action. Alright, so clock struck 7, and we continue on. In your explaining of your journey, there are spiritual aspects that you can take from as you're speaking, and you mentioned God. Maybe some people don't believe in God. Maybe some people believe in a particular God or whatever. And then you felt released and free, and there's a spiritual element in your journey. So where does God fall into that, or what did you reacquaint yourself, or was he always there, or how does that play into your experience?
So I guess we'll go back a little bit because as a child, I grew up Catholic, and so I was baptized and went to catechism and was able to receive the host and drink the wine and all that stuff, which I felt was like super cool. And so there was talk of God, when you go to church, but my parents didn't really talk about God, but I always felt like physically that there was a higher power. And as I got older, and we were like I don't know what they call it, like the holiday time church. You only go when it's like Easter, Christmas, or something like that. And there was a time as I got older and I learned about the Catholic Church and the priests and all that, whatever was happening that was an evil, in my opinion, that I, what they were doing with kids and things like that, that I was anti-Catholic. It was embarrassing to me. But it didn't make me stop believing in God or a higher power. I felt like, everybody's going to get their just desserts when it's their time. And it wasn't until we had Maxie that
Max is
Max,
his son.
yeah, Max is my little guy. When I had him, he on his own, remember, he would pray.
Yeah, no.
And I was teaching him the Pledge of Allegiance. We homeschool, so I was teaching him the Pledge of Allegiance. It was so cute because he would incorporate the Pledge of Allegiance sometimes in his little love words when he was saying. We'd hold his hands, and sometimes Johnny couldn't understand what he was saying, so I'd have to translate what he was trying to say. He was
what
like,
is he speaking?
he was like 2.5, like 3 years old, like really small. And so I was like, holy crap, like this kid has this power of like, there's this connection. And then it was very close after that time because he was just 3 when I started the weaning process. And so I was going through that. And then there was that time when it was like the day that I was like really suicidal, and actually, should I talk about that?
You can talk about anything you want.
There was things that, like, specific moments that happened that I felt were what I like to call, I guess, like these realizations or these gifts or something that was happening, because I was not well, and I actually even like left the house with a firearm, thinking like this was the day. But I just hysterically cried, and then it just like literally, like it was like this, it's almost like when the storm is going to happen outside or something. It just, there was just silence, like this silence that happened. It was like I had cried enough and cried so hard and so deep that there was nothing else to talk to me. There was like that ego or that devil of us, like there, whatever you want to call it, like this lower part of us, it just stopped. And then I had no more tears to cry. And it was almost like, like this relief. Mm-hmm. And then it was like God, like, or this higher power, like, what are you doing? You know, like you've got things to do. You've got not only like people, you know, that I knew that I would hurt. It was like, you gotta just pull your panties up and go put that away and just do the work. Do the work. So that was one of the tipping points for me, that I really felt that there was this higher power in that I needed to surrender to, right? And then one of the big things that happened through breath work, and that's when I really knew that also there was, again, a higher power, because I had made a decision, you know, long before you and everything, that I had gotten pregnant and decided to have an abortion. And that ate away at me, but I just shoved it aside. But it came up through breath work. And it showed me, visibly showed me that the child that I had let go of was held by Jesus. Like, it was in his image of what they, you know, what we see of him, you know, or what they show of his image. And that spirit had come back to me through Max. And so it was just this like full circle of not even knowing what was going to come up through breath work, that it was like a peace came over me. And then learning about frequency, you know, that if we're always thinking about everything that's going wrong in our life, how sometimes it's just going to continue to go wrong. And so to change your mindset on the gratitude and the love and the work, you know, it takes work. It's so easy to, in the Western culture too, that's the biggest thing, is like, in the Western culture, it's so easy to go to the doctor and they give you a prescription, they give you a pill. Or you can go to the store and go buy your beer, or, you know, you can go and to the bars or go out to the clubs and all those things. Like, yeah, it's just like it's just a Band-Aid. And then it's actually harder to get out of all those things. And so by me doing that super deep breath work and then continuing daily to practice as hard as it was to do that, to better myself, I began to not only see the gifts that I had, like the tangible gifts, there were gifts being shown to me within of my strength. So then I started seeing them as the higher power walking alongside with me. That if I continued to surrender and believe that me as a human can change and have the mindset of what my higher power, my God, wanted of me, that I could reach it, but I had to do the work. I couldn't just, you couldn't mask it with pharmaceuticals or weed or drinking alcohol or any other, substance. It was the purity that would have to come along with it. And so even if you don't believe in God, or you have your own belief of a higher power, that's all you need. You don't need to, and I don't, me personally, like I know God is in, or there is a higher power, there is creation. There is creation in everything. And so being out in nature is my church. And when I really think about it and I'm doing this work and I really tap into the little girl in me, when, there's this time, every human after the age of 7, that's when they start to, the ego starts talking and starts to, you want to, oh, I don't look like her. I wish I had her hair. I wish I were taller. I wish I was shorter. I wish didn't have these, all these things that's when all that starts happening. So if I were to tap into the younger me, the little me, the Jessica that was prior to that age, and what I was doing, I can visually see it. I was up in the mountains, climbing on the rocks, and just sitting. I would just sit up there, and I was, play with the roly-polies, or try to, just watch the lizards or watch the snakes, and I had rope swings in the trees, so I was climbing the trees and swinging on the rope trees for hours. I would be out there for hours until dark, or, until my mom would call me in. And those were my times when I was like connecting, with Source. And so maybe you don't believe in my God, but my God is your God. But, God, that if you don't want to call it God, creation, higher power, whatever the name is, it's all in the same.
That's pretty good, babe. All right, last question. So where do you go from here? What is on the horizon, and what is your goals, and what are you attempting to do for people that are out there that might want to reach out to you and say, hey, I heard about you, I related with you, what's your next move?
I am moving, so I started Eternal Weaving, and I started, the name is the reason I chose it is for those that you don't have to believe in a specific, religion, or you don't have to name him or her God. You don't have to. It's the eternal are the teachings of the reconnection to the within. And really it all begins with breath, the breath work, because that is what, however we were born from our mother into earthside, we became ourselves with breath. That was the initial thing, is with the breath. And so I truly, truly believe that is what can bring us back into center. And now there's so many, there's so much science out there how to regulate the nervous system is with the breath, right? So the breath is such a huge part of what I am trying to provide. And with connecting to the breath, meditation, or what people even, you can call it prayer, meditation, that comes hand in hand. So you're able to come into stillness in the body, in the mind, so that you can come into that regulated state. And so that is eternal. And so weaving in along with that is the diets, the clean eating, the tapping, these other sprinkling, weaving in, if you will, like the journaling and the tapping, numerology, all of those kinds of things I'm interested in, human design. And so I see it all, that I love and know what has helped me in being a better mother, a better wife, a better person, that I want to weave in all of these things that I know have helped me to get to this point. So that is the weaving part. So eternal weaving, I began, and I'm offering, for those who are interested, just if you are ready to dip your toe in it, it's just a 30-minute meditation and breath work that we do every Saturday. And then classes in breath work and meditation, monthly things in town, at the park, doing breath work at the park, doing full moon gatherings, and then offering retreats.
Which town?
Oh, in Georgetown, Texas. Yeah, and then retreats. The retreat is such a special thing that I'm ready to gift out into the world as well. So creating a space specifically for those who are feeling that call to level up when they want to, healing that part of them, their sister wound, healing their ancestors through this, providing a safe, nice, beautiful space for them to do that in, is one of my callings. And so that I have a retreat happening in March of 2025. And yeah.
And how can they reach you?
Oh, right. You can go to eternalweaving.love, or you can go on social media at eternalweaving222, or you can email me at connect@eternalweaving.love, or wherever we post this to. I think you can probably
You're on
put
Instagram as well?
Yeah, that's
right?
the eternal,
Okay.
at eternalweaving222.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, any last words before we say goodbye that you may have missed in your journey that you want to say, I should have said something about that or this or the other?
I think maybe just those who do find this and connect with it, any pieces that you connect with it, any part of you that feels unsure, or that there's a part of you that you're doing something that's not really benefiting you, but you don't know how to stop. It's with radical self-responsibility and taking responsibility in it, and also having the courage to break away from, maybe it's even a relationship, it could even be maybe even family members that you kind of have to break away from, so that you can realign with what's calling to you, because we all do know, we just sometimes don't listen.
All right. Okay. Well, it was a wonderful interview, and then I hope this reaches everyone, and everyone is doing well, and reach out to my wife if you have any questions. She's gone through quite a journey, and I've witnessed it all, and it's been ups and it's been downs, and of quite proud of her. So
Thank you, honey. Thank you
We'll
for
say goodbye.
sticking with me through all those ups and downs. It was a little crazy. That's okay. You're my honey.
I love you too, babe.
Okay.
All right. Cut.